Hi, there's something that's been on my mind for a while because, as you know, most of you know, that it is near election time, right? And I keep uh, hearing things like, what's in voting for the blacks in America? And now, although we are called African Americans here, we're called people of color, we're referred to as colored folks, and different terms. And so that shows that we have not yet quite figured out who we are, but I think we're getting there. And my main point is that, we vote for the Democratic candidate. Uh, Joe Biden is has said previously that he was going to frisk and stop people of color or people in the ghetto or whatever, So that means trouble for the poor people. That means trouble for blacks, Hispanic, and any other person who was not able to pay their way out of trouble. So, I mean, maybe he didn't really mean that like that because it's not all poor people who are creating problems. And if it is, those people are poor for a reason. And I'm sure nobody walks up and says, I want to be poor. I like to be poor. That's my dream, just to be poor in the world. So I can stand on the corners and beg for money and say, work for food and stuff like this. Now, if you vote for the presidential fellow Donald Trump, President Trump, then most people really don't know anything except that he seems to be more into money. And I'm the kind of person like this though. I always say, well, if a person is not messing with me, usually I'm not going to mess with them. So that's why I don't really talk about him a whole lot because so far, he hasn't messed with my little bitty resources that comes in. And I know some other people probably think the same thing, but that's really it's bigger than what one person can receive as income or a place to live or education and other factors. Is this voting is it has to give more than just basic survival living um, resources. So that's something to think about because blacks have been through quite a bit in America. Now we really don't have, we really can't complain 100% and say that things are 100% wrong because they really are not. Anytime you can wake up and feel some, fresh air, which that is somewhat of a problem too because there is quite a bit of pollution going on. Um, the thing of it is, though, if blacks are to establish themselves and create a nation of their own, we have not organized it. We have not completely organized that, which would probably be beneficial to most blacks to have a nation of their own. But the thing of it is that when there's too much disagreement and hardly any unity, that will be probably a challenge because remember what happened to the Soviet Union when they came out of socialism and tried to do the democratic government. They had trouble. They didn't know how. No one. You have to be organized and you have to know what you want in order to because just to stand and say, well, we're not going to vote for anybody it sounds really great. I mean, because if you're voting for people who don't seem to count you, but they want your votes, they just want you to get out of the way and shut up and be quiet or whatever it is they want. If it doesn't benefit the black, that's why would anybody accommodate them? You know what I'm saying? So I know that we are in quite a dilemma because we had the same thing happen last year. I mean, last voting term when we had Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump here, who's here now. So President Trump is, and she was running against him, and we really knew that it would be difficult because you had a female, and most of them, we have not been used to females running the country because over here in America, there's always been some white or person, constituent, to run a white representative. We did have President Obama, but that's a lot of people see some issues with that too. And basically, I guess what I'm better stick to is the fact that not voting it means that you are actually voting. But then you got to decide what are you voting for. And this is real, real hard because we have not gotten together and said, okay, this is what blacks want from you. Well, everybody know we have been crying for justice for the longest. First, we're tired of our black males going to jail for everything and not even being represented anywhere near right unless they have a lot of money. And even with that, sometimes because they're black, it's like, okay, we don't even care if you got money. We're going to take the money and still lock you up. Whether you're guilty or not, you black, you guilty. We're tired of that. And we don't really want to go through this. And so we have to make a decision. We've got to really, really, really think about this thing now. And I've always tried to be, a good citizen, voting and try to stick by the law and stuff like that. But, when the law has been established against you, what are you sticking by? This is like me telling my enemy, oh, yes, go do me. Do me. Yes, I love being done. Do me any kind of way. Do anything to me. Come on, enemy. Do it. Here I am. I'm your huckleberry. Come do it to me. So we're not really trying to do that.